Oh, okay, okay. Did you see the door?
I did. She did.
She mad with you.
Mm-hmm.
I see that. Hey, Darlene, I need you to buy one of these tickets for me. I'm doing a fundraiser. We're doing a fundraiser raffle for the United Way. If you don't mind.
I don't mind. I don't have my purse with me, it's not in the car.
Okay.
I'll get it.
Okay,
I'm sorry. I said I don't mind.
you get 3 for 25 or $10 each. Woo. Oh, listen, first prize, $250 cash. Second prize is a dinner at the Fire Restaurant in Atmore, which is valued at $125. Third prize, Wind Creek Hotel stay valued at $100. Fourth prize, Wind Creek Spa Package, valued at $100. So Mike, you wanna buy one?
$10.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Last?
Let's get back, I may not even have $10. Oh, wow.
You'll figure that out later, journal.
Oh, okay.
This is expensive. Okay. Hey, Mike, how are you?
I'm all right, how you?
I'm good. How's everything in town? Doing good? Mike, did you ever get a chance to go over to
Yes, sir.
Green Products?
I went over there when they had the, the opening and everything. I don't think I've been back.
Well, they have this new, it's a COVID, it's best I can, but you should go over and see it. I mean, it would be a good thing to write on your
Put
paper.
my name on that.
Because it's using, it's a partnership between two businesses, Atlantic Structures,
You can go down there
Vertical
for that,
Design,
bring in there.
and it's using his insulate steel panels. And, it can also adapt to a number of different uses, it's just modular.
Somebody sent me a brochure on it,
Yeah, I think I did,
and I went through that brochure.
Yeah.
Pretty neat.
yeah, go see it, for sure.
Where does the guy
Hi, how are you?
manufacture, where does he actually manufacture those things?
Well, they could be manufactured in Monroeville, Alabama, that's our hope.
I contacted him.
Hello. But he's,
I sent me that, to see if I could talk to him about it.
it's,
He hasn't talked.
hey, Chris, well, they're manufacturing things, and they've done them out of Monroeville. So Monroeville has a good shot at getting some of that business.
You,
Alan said it needs to be a long, narrow building.
Yeah, the 30-story building would work for it. But we have maybe GP lease, but I can't know how long.
I got it, thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I got one, thanks, Alan.
Hey, Dale, how you doing?
Hey,
Good.
Bill,
Hey, Sarah.
how are you?
Oscar.
Oh, goodness.
How you, sir?
You got a wedding quick in? Oh, okay.
You got one?
They don't have everything on the bottom.
Who's she buying?
I know, I was waiting on, is Katie, she ran to the, I was just waiting on.
Oh, okay, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
Hey, Billy,
Hey, yeah.
what, the cloudy, how about you?
No, I'm doing good.
Okay, welcome to you all, Chris and Katie.
Hey.
We're glad to have y'all with us this afternoon. I guess we can get started and y'all can tell us about the wonderful financial condition of our city.
Let's do it.
Okay, now come on in.
They let you come back?
Well, it's an old park out right next to you. Be careful, you know?
I get you.
You can keep your friends close, right? What do they say? What do they say about that?
Enemies close.
No, it's always a good thing for me to be able to come and visit my clients, especially, I told Katie on the way here, I said it's kind of odd. This is the first time we visited you guys this year. It's usually like a long visit with a lot of auditors and all the
Yeah.
things we do. And,
Yeah.
you know, I'll say this, I had meetings yesterday, we kind of did the same thing. It is not easy to do this kind of audit from home. And that's what these guys did. I mean, and Mary and your team, they got it together, you pulled it together and got information to where we can do the audit. This is not an easy process in person, but to try to do it with emails, portals, texts.
And our team was separate because we were all at home at
Yeah.
that point.
So that you lose that synergy of all being together and getting it done. So to look at the audit report here, which I have it, we issued audit July 24th. So that's probably maybe about a month later than we normally would have, maybe even
Yeah.
2.
We wanted it in June-ish, July, but
So good job to you and your staff for helping us pull it together. Because I mean, it is not easy. All right, so let's talk about you guys. And less about the audit process. We can talk a little bit about that. It's a clean opinion, okay? That's what you set out to get. And when you get auditors and you want a good opinion, you got it. So we believe these statements are materially correct. So what do you have here? You know, you used to have a enterprise fund and that rolled off. So the city right now is just governmental activities. You're blocking and tackling. Your fire, police, your administrative, governance, cultural and rec, roads, all the good things. It's also, you'll have a pretty significant mindset for economic development. And when I go back and look at your balance sheet there on page 3, let's see if you got the number. Yep, you're there. All right. You've got at the end of September now. So yes, it says annual financial report. There's 2 reports that we'll probably address, but you know, you've got over $4 million of liquid assets. So cash, $3 million, CDs, $1 million. Come down the balance sheet, yeah, there's some receivables, prepaids. You've got other assets there, M Block and Sterling buildings, for which, yeah, you've got it. There's money borrowed on it, but the net investment in those buildings is the next to the last number on the page, $2 million. So, you know, when you look at your balance sheet, it's strong on the asset side. Your liability, your biggest liability, your second largest liability is your net pension liability. And so that's your actuarial liability less the funds they have on hand with you to pay that. And I always try to look at how funded you are. At the end of this reporting period, it is 87% funded. So, I mean, you hear about other places like Detroit and California, and you know, you hear that they're upside down. That's not the case for you guys. Y'all are well funded. I think it's doing what it needs to. So your pension liability, the only other thing you got on the liability side is debt, you know, to speak of. And $1 million of that we took out in 19 with a RD, rural development loan for $1 million to help finance those 2 buildings. So, I mean, the balance sheet looks great. Y'all got a lot of room for opportunity, flexible, you're not burdened. Your debt load is definitely not something I would, lose any sleep over. When we look at the next page, and I won't spend a lot of time here, but two good things worth noticing. The far left it's a weird presentation, but the far left is your expenses. And I always tell city councils, you can kind of tell what is valued in the community by how the numbers work. A lot of public safety is the winner. So you'll really commit a lot to your fire, police, those type of things. Your public works does include things like street paving, which you did have quite a bit of in 19. That was the runner-up, and so administration was your third place to be. You can tell your debt carrying cost is not even $20,000. So again, those are things that they all look good to me. When you look over here on the far right, that little block of numbers here at the bottom, that's your general revenues, and we usually list them by order of importance, and y'all aren't any much different than any other municipality in the state with sales and use tax at this point. That was a bump. It was a little over 200,000 from the prior year. 19 was a strong year for a lot of municipalities in the sales activity. Then you have real and personal, and then business licenses get actually reclassified on the top there, but that is 1.3 million for business licenses, thereabouts. In the end, full accrual, it was over $1 million of net income, if I can say. Page 5 is more or less it's closer to a cash flow model, cash basis model. You determine a lot by how you keep your books, by the funds you have. And so the general fund, when you look at the general fund, which every municipality has, your unassigned fund balance, which is your assets minus your liability, your unassigned piece, is $3 million. So when I said before, you've got $4 million of liquid funds, $3 million of it is sitting in the general fund, and it is unassigned. So again, healthy numbers. You got a capital project fund that we moved some things out of to truly just account for capital projects. They're working like they're supposed to. And then your non-major governmental funds, which is like gas taxes and other various funds that are shown in bank statements. If you look at page 7, remember I said your full accrual income was about $1 million. And once you consolidate everything down, before other financing sources, it's $500,000 on the kind of cash basis you look there. If you throw in the $1 million loan proceeds, it starts getting higher. But overall, it's been a really nice year, and a lot of it has to do. I guess I'll jump ahead to your budget, because we're probably at a good place to talk. The reporting rules places this the budget actually on page 27.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
What is intergovernmental revenue?
So going back to let's say page 7, you find it.
Okay, that the county gives y'all 0.5% of county sales tax. So that's the biggest piece of that. And then the next biggest piece is South Alabama Gas District, this dividend.
Good question. I actually had written those numbers down there. It was the 0.5 cent piece was 601,000. The South Alabama gas district was 220,000. So your budget, you did good there. On page 27 is the total revenues. in total, you have 705,000 more. This is really cash basis. It's, yeah, this is a truly cash basis presentation. So you ended up with 705,000 more on the expense side. Let's see. So it was a little bit more, but it only really had to do with economic development. We would spend more, but that is just a tiny difference. The ones that matter are things that y'all watch closely, like general government. It was 95,000 to the PA, public safety, 180 to the PA, public works, 88,000 to the PA. The economic development goes back to having to repay the CDBG because we didn't qualify for funds that we'd already drawn down for the fund. But that's how it shows up in the cash basis. So again, your budget looks great. You've got really stayed within your means, and follow the plan. Other things that's worth talking about, there's footnotes in here that talk about how we count for everything, and cash to fixed asset to credit risk to long-term debt to the pension. And if you start reading the pension footnote, you'll drive yourself crazy or fall asleep one of these things. So, there's a couple footnotes about the relationship with the water and sewer system, abatements, and then the one that we love is the one that talks about the coronavirus and the subsequent event there, which we all know a little bit about now. But at the time we released it, it was hot and heavy and something that had to be put in there for somebody that wasn't tuned into the earth. Okay, so let me do that quickly. Okay, any questions about that? Thank you.
For some reason, I think they come here where I get blocked.
Okay. You're protecting the crowd. All right, there's another report here, and it's the report to the city council. So this is a required communication between auditors and those that have a fiduciary duty to oversee the city. It's a required communication, but there's nothing in here that's worth us just touching on lightly, if I may. It talks about whether or not there's no new accounting standards or announcements that have to be implemented. We had one, it was small, you wouldn't really notice much of a difference between prior year, current year. It was pretty much about labels for that. We think your accounting policies and practices are appropriate. We don't think you had any significant or unusual transactions in my opinion. Your estimates, you have one fairly significant estimate, and it's the great thing is the actuaries help you with that, and that's with the pension liability. So that gets done. Your relationship, y'all can pretty much outsource it to the RSA. The RSA provides you all that information, and they do a good job. They're timely, and they use good consultants and actuaries and accountants to do that for you guys. So that's your only significant estimate. Let's see. We did have some audit adjustments, and I'll just cover them very high level. There's always some accruals at the end of the year, just kind of sneak by. And they usually involve one-off projects like capital projects and grant reimbursements. Those get tuned up at the end of the year. And so we help make those as audit adjustments. That's your biggest one. Cash is also an audit adjustment like here. And it's not because cash is missing or otherwise incorrect. The way interfund reimbursements work here, it triggers a reconciling difference, and we remove the reconciling difference because you're just moving money between accounts at the city. So we did tune that up. Those are probably the two biggest, I would say.
That's for the general, right? The general fund issues all the checks for all the other accounts, and then like the court, the capital improvements, and the ABC funds pay the general fund back. So it's a reimbursement approach that the general fund covers all expenses, and then there's a reimbursement on the other funds to support those reimbursements.
It's an annual tune-up, just to adjust those interfund transactions to do. We're one big happy family, even with all those little departments. Let's see. Let's see if there's any other ones that I want to share.
Do you see anything with a lot of times we kind of deciding we need some more money for some project that's not necessarily budgeted? We kind of go through the count, seems to me, we go through the count that's got the most money available for that sometimes. Is there a problem with that? Like we go ABC, we try to maybe keep it closer to things that are in the framework of school and fire and safety and different things like that. But if we like have a roof repair or something, we move things around sometimes of where we have the money still. I mean, I don't know if that's truly the way we approach it or not, but is that fine to do that? And is that, are we doing that correctly?
Yeah, so one of the things we do in our audit is we have restricted funds. Every municipality has it. You receive shared intergovernmental revenues from the state of Alabama. They give you 7, 5, 4 cent gas taxes, and each one of those little pieces has to be used on a restricted basis. That either for, one can be used for street lights and one can be used for paving, but one won't allow both of them. So I'm using that as an example. What Mary's going to do is she's going to look for what's the need. Do I have a restricted source and use the restricted source first? You always hold your unrestricted dollars until the end to buy whatever you need to do, roof or whatnot. Because here's the bottom line. I was like telling somebody this morning, police departments aren't a business. They're a highly subsidized mission. You think about it like that, because they don't make money. And so unrestricted dollars fund your police department, bottom line. So you're always looking for the most restricted to fit the need. And she's going to do that every time. In thoughts?
Right, no, correct. And that's where some of their opinions on our capital improvements account is to try and not borrow money, not have all of our loans reside for our vehicles, our fire truck, that those need to actually come out of the general fund versus our capital improvements account. The capital improvements is strictly, well, it's more so dedicated for infrastructure needs. So our paving projects, our buildings, anything that is a permanent fixture, not a vehicle or piece of equipment. We've been trying to, as each loan we pay off, trying not to borrow money out of our capital improvement account as much as possible. But we did create the contingency funds, which I think has helped us considerably, especially with those incidental expenses that have come through on our general fund and our ABC account. So those have really helped us streamline those budget items that we don't budget.
So probably the biggest thing to share with you guys is it is a separate letter. The journalists talked about the estimate. So in planning and performing the audit, it's our job to audit towards the risk. I mean, we do a risk-based audit approach. what that means is, even though, the Coke machine money could be a little risky, there's not a lot of it, so I don't really care to audit to that. We audit to big dollars. Now, sometimes it'll take us down half. It's all right. My phone may go off and I got a new one and I can't tell you what the ringtone is, so it's one of my IT folks loaded it, so it could be. Don't call me, Katie. So we audit to risk. And so, and if we didn't, we could do your audit. I mean, you have to call it a day at some point. So to audit to risk, we have to understand your processes and procedures. We have to understand where the chance of error in a number might be and how the magnitude of that. So we're always looking at your process procedures. And so I'll go ahead and say in small communities, your front office can only hold so many people. You don't have unlimited funds to have every transaction cycle dedicated to a different person. They share a lot of hats and they wear a lot of hats. And it's the nature of the animal. So our comments here specifically about segregation of duties is something that can be fine-tuned over time and worked on, but you have to realize that in your area of revenues and receipts, be nice if you had a lot of different people walking the step through. Same thing for building business licenses and municipal court department. Those three areas on cash receipts is where we see a little bit of a hole. So yes, we do audit to that. We do audit to that area. And so it's my job then when I, have these observations, I have to assess the magnitude of how big that error could be. And, revenue is a big number. And sales tax alone is $4 million. Now, I know we were talking about business licenses being in there, municipal court. Well, that's a decent number also. And so those numbers, when they hit financial statements, they are material. So I don't want to worry anybody, but what I do want to point out is that, your job as a city council is a fiduciary. Ask questions to, look at the numbers. The mayor's job is really important to have some oversight over the accounting area and the city clerk. So, those are three areas that I would definitely be mindful of. We already talked about interfund balances and year-end accruals, how we adjust those. Okay, you want to talk about, so Katie's, we kind of took it up under a project about 2 years ago to look at some things with some of our municipalities a little bit, because I saw a common trail. We saw a trend. We really wanted to get our hands around what does the state of Alabama say, what is the accounting rules say, and to give better advice and I know it's not a happy topic, but fire and police funds that they raise. And so it was something, Katie did the research, and then you just want to share with them what our thoughts are.
So, and this is the same as last year, there were 4 police department accounts and 1 fire department account that are not controlled by City Hall. And although those funds were raised by the fire and police department, they are still city funds and should be treated just like any other city bank account. So those 5 bank statements really should be coming to City Hall and should be controlled by the city instead of the department. So while we were looking at those bank accounts and making our entries to record the balances in those accounts, we noted that there were some expenditures that did not meet the public purpose requirement. Those are on page 3. You can look at them. I'm not gonna read them all. But they include Christmas gifts for volunteer fire department, wives and children for their Christmas party. It includes meals for the Christmas party, a police department Christmas party, and those don't meet the public purpose requirement. They don't serve the public as a whole. And yes, those funds or those expenses were spent with funds raised by the fire department, but they're still city funds and have to be spent to benefit the public. So again, y'all can look through those expenses, but those funds need to be budgeted by the city council too. There are some expenses like benefit or award banquet. Those are allowed as long as they're approved by the city council. So those,
What the fire department needs to do is have another entity with those funds in it.
that's an option.
Yeah, so you're on to
Or the
something.
police department.
Yeah.
Yep, so what you'll see in other areas, other municipalities, is that there'll be another entity created. It raises money for that entity, and then it does those things. Now, I think that's the way around this to accomplish that goal. Because listen, I'm not unsympathetic. Y'all went out and raised the money. And the thought becomes, well, that's our money. Well, unfortunately, if it goes into this city bank account, it becomes city. Then you follow up under the AG approvals. And so those are very well established. The one thing I would say about separate, and I'm gonna use like let's just go down the road of a school PTA fund. Never in my career will I ever audit the PTA fund. I don't want to. I don't want to know. I am not getting into PTA funds. Here's what the school board would say. You know, they get very uncomfortable about these booster clubs and PTA funds because it bears the name of the school. So if you create an entity, Friends of, Monroeville Fire Department, the public still is probably going to perceive that as part of the city. And if there was ever a question, they will show up on the doorstep here. Now, you just have to be prepared for that if you want to go down that route to allow them to have more flexibility with their money. Their money. And I can get that. We are definitely not here to take away somebody's money that they raise. We just need to put y'all, aware of the need for the scrutiny there, because as it is, if somebody wanted to have say about some of these expenditures, it could get a little uncomfortable.
The situation where we have a volunteer fire department, of course, their pay staff is the volunteer combination.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel no problem with if in the city turn around and say they have a Christmas party, the family can come, and this is the reward to them. The city is, look at it however you want to look at it, but we're just a thank you.
Yeah. So we've been invited to Christmas parties for the finance department. It's another one of our clients, and that the whole finance department's there. Now, a lot of those finance department employees made their own. It was a kind of a.
Would it be better though that if the city wrote that check totally, even though the funds came, people come in and say, man, I thank you for everything you did, and responding to my house fire or whatever else kind of situation, and make a donation with the fact that that there's some reward for what they've done above and beyond Call of Duty. I'm being kind of specific in this. How can that be handled this?
So I've read a lot of AGO opinions on this, and I'll be happy to send them. But when it comes to like meals for their families, the Christmas parties, the wives and children can come. Well, that's the meals for the family members are not allowed to be paid for with city funds. Now, if someone made a donation and it was specifically for the fire department to host a Christmas party, I think that might be allowed, Chris.
And that is basically probably what's happening, is what's happening. But then, you know, if there's a paper trail of the
Yeah.
way it should go is the correct thing.
And that may be what's needed to be beefed up. If these are truly donations for that purpose and the city's just an intermediary, if we haven't read anything to the contrary, and we can run it past the municipalities, I have a great relationship with them. Then the paperwork, the sources of the money and having it accounted for. And I think that's really the biggest part we're missing is there's really no monitoring from the city side to make sure we're clean.
Let me ask you, the money that is in these accounts now that is raised for that specific purpose. If they were going to form their own entity, like a 501c3, could that money, which was raised by the fire department or the police department for the specific purpose, you know, for people giving donations, can that be transferred over?
So I think just go back and do the due diligence on what you have left. And then we'll make a call.
Okay, like in other words, who donated it,
Mhm.
that type of thing.
Because I think what was in the fire department account was, there was a donation from Mockingbird Company,
Yeah.
and then the Mardi Gras Ball Fund.
Yeah.
So,
And those were both charitable.
right.
For contributions for the purpose of donating.
We have a 501c3 that is a community development corporation, and so did they raise the funds and put them in that account and then pay it out?
If the board of that C3 is, I've seen, there's a term for that, and it escapes me right now, but you know, C3 has a specific purpose with the IRS.
It's community development. and-
So, I mean, if you felt like that you could get there with your C3, that's an option.
Hey, we actually time filed today, filed all the stuff, but tax ID number and 501c3 for the fire department. It's actually Monroeville Volunteer Fire Department, something incorporated. So that's already moving forward, if the council will approve that. And then we just have to get Milton Cox to do the paperwork and file it for.
It sounds like once y'all get that established, then all you have to do is, like what Chris said, is approve the transfer of funds you've already raised into that 501c3.
And the spending of that account's been established since the 60s. And up until last year, we never knew that it was under a city tax ID number. And I think that came about because Trustmark done some audits and saw that and renamed the account.
Listen, you're not the only municipality that has this issue. It's just kind of, you know, it can morph, it can get big, it can be small, it can definitely fly under the radar for us. Our exposure to this was really a matter of, I saw this with a lot of my clients, and I felt like we needed to have a better answer for these type of funds. And, you know, I for a separate entity, that's probably the best way.
I'm gonna get to the rest.
Yeah.
Very
So,
timely.
the only other things, unless we want to talk some more about that, bidder approval is something that I asked the mayor to look at closely when you're signing those checks and you don't recognize an entity, ask questions. I'm a certified fraud examiner. I wear that hat too, and fake vendors, easy way to get money out of any entity. And then fund classification, we do, you budget a lot of capital, some capital revenues inside of the capital project fund, but they're not, the accounting rules don't let you put them there for reporting purposes. we move them into the general fund, but you can keep doing what you're doing. The capital project fund has its own unique definition, and we try to clean it up and get it within that.
Anyone, any questions? I want y'all to meet our mayor-elect is sitting here with us. This- Charles Andrews. My God, yeah.
Who's that?
Councilman.
Oh, okay, awesome. Nice to meet you guys. No, it is a pleasure to come and visit with you guys. Like I tell all my clients, this is just not an annual process. I'll tell you what, you got a great city clerk here. She calls us and really challenges us with good questions. And it really does help me grow too. For somebody that's really paying attention and really trying to understand what a decision you guys may make, how it will impact the city for the next 15 years, 20 years. That's some great guardrails and having someone to keep y'all on the straight and narrow. But I know y'all did a good job on it. But no, y'all got a great department. When we come out in the field, which we really missed coming and staying in the new apartments,
Yes.
Airbnbs, that's all they can talk about.
Very sad. Very sad.
Tiny trip.
We will.
So, if there's any other questions? What's that?
Call BR 549. That's before your time.
That is before my time, no, I really.
That's all he called.
Oh, okay.
Right, BR 549.
Gotcha.
Thank you. Great to
Thank
see y'all.
y'all. Good to see
Um,
y'all.
Thank you so much.
And we can do this for us and I'll drop them off back here with the mayor. Hey, it's been a pleasure working with you.
Thank you. Well, it's been a pleasure.
It has been.
y'all. And I'm gonna miss you a little bit, but I know you're great.
Well,
Appreciate all you do.
it was a pleasure working with you. And, I've got a good thing going. I can say that.
Monroe was a great town. Slated for greater things.
We usually have quite a few people from Jackson who want to spend some nights here with our friends just down the street. And so,
Yes.
yeah, so they're great family.
Have you seen all the improvements that are being done?
We had to circle the square as we came in. It was great.
Go by the police station across the street is the new man. They are very responsible for most of it. Yeah.
We won't take any more of your time. We'll see y'all next year.
Thanks.
Right?
Thanks. Thanks, promise.
Congratulations. Absolutely. We'll be in touch. Yeah.
Okay, we're on to the budget. Speaking of financial. Does everyone have all your budget materials? I handed out the blank worksheets at the last meeting. Does anybody need an extra copy?
Mine is in the car.
Where to begin? Does anyone have any comments on the budgets?
We talking about ABC and capital.
Yeah. I mean, should we just go line by line? Is that what y'all want to do? So let's start with, the, revenues on capital improvements first. We've got South Alabama gas dividends, that would be probably 220,000 for revenues.
The 223, that's this year.
Yeah,
Yeah, the year-to-date column is current as to what we received in the last fiscal year.
so I don't know if y'all want to go with that or just go with 220, which is more conservative. Oh, 500, yeah. Okay, again. Miscellaneous income. Well, if we sell the fire truck, we'll have some miscellaneous income.
Yeah. We've had an offer, 30,000, if they stay with it. We'll get ready to do that.
Then we'll have, we probably have so. Yeah.
Leaving, oh,
Okay, Alabama Historical Commission grant. They cut a check this week, so we'll get that right now. Okay, so that's 6,000 as in last year's budget, yes, but then we're gonna get 15,000 this year's budget for the Clausdale project. So that would be 15. Then, and this is still. That's the most public works. Equipment. Alabama Trust Fund, what is that?
That is, the one-figure revenue we received from the state. It's specifically dedicated to capital improvement projects.
that 60, 65, that pretty much normal.
It hovers around $60,000. Yeah. In sidewalk money, we won't have any this year. That's what Jeremy, Paxton
That's what
said.
they're
that
applying for, it'll be in 2022, yeah.
Right, 2022.
Okay, and this Walmart, we always get the Walmart thing, don't we? So that would be 3. And, on the Smith grant, I think we're gonna try to do the restocking bags, and that would be 6,500. And then, the Carter Foundation. We're
sales. This is the portion that we get from the full sales tax, I think back in the seventies, that the council dedicated half that to, the half that goes into our capital improvement fund. So this is a portion from our general sales tax that we receive.
So should we put that at 750? I mean, it's 772. But you had it at 750.
770, what, you think?
We had a great year this past year. People are staying home and buying local. And we're also getting a lot more proceeds from the Amazon and Walmart.com, the online sales. So,
That's a big deal.
yes, sir.
Do 770, you think?
I think that'd be fine.
So now we do expenses. Okay. Do you have anything that's getting high?
Only thing I had is Tim's window. I don't know if a rock hit it and it shattered. But we have that, and then Tommy from Triple H is wanting to come in and replace the LEDs. There's some outside, up front, and then in here as well. I think the quote came in at $350. Tim's window, I don't have a quote on. It's just a small pane in the bottom that needs to be replaced. Because we asked for 1,000 just to.
I think it's a gas filled window, if I'm not with the window.
Same thing.
Oh, it's like these ones where the bottom.
Yeah, there's a whole piece,
Whole
It's-
piece
oh.
about it, but
that's just, those pieces almost just there.
What would it cost you?
I had one put in my house, was $300 something.
$1,000? Oh,
Thank you.
that includes the flag lights.
Yes, sir. Mhm.
Good structure.
Yeah, no, it's a Halloween decoration.
Okay, farmer's market, we need tents or.
Over the roof, the tent.
I mean, we've already purchased, haven't
We purchased more this last year, I think 800 or.
I mean, it ain't using, there's no question about
Right.
that. That's very often.
1,200 was probably the year before, so fiscal year
A lot of
19.
them are broken.
What should we put in for that?
If the 1,200 is not too much, I don't know what they would spend, but that would be enough. Well,
Okay. That's the Veterans Lake. This is 51,300. So that was for the engineering.
Oh, the engineer.
cost.
Okay, so is this where we put our total for this year? Okay, while I'm talking about it, the lake project, y'all all get an email. Melvin, you may not have, because I sent it, I didn't even know that you had sent it to y'all. I got the update from Jeremy Paxton that I requested about the new costs associated with the upgrades that were not in the original quote. First one is removal of fingers and additional bank rating, that was $35,000. Addition of north parking, addition of 5 parallel parking spaces in North Park Drive, and that's $17,000. Addition of south parking, which is $14,000, which is the addition of 3 parallel parking spaces along Park Drive. And then the fish screen, which goes on the west end of the lake, is $10,000. So that the fish can be retained in the lake. And so those, I'm suggesting we add those improvements to what we've already budgeted for the lake project, which I don't know what that total is. 362 or 62,000. So then you would add in these other costs, and that would get it to a really good place.
what the other costs are?
The other,
If you just lay it out.
how much? Total. Okay, 76,000. So that would give us And Jeremy, I think in his letter, he said he suggested we hold 450,000 in the account. for the-
They should say, that's still not what they were asking. They
Yeah.
Still may do something else.
Yeah, there still could be something else, so
It
I'm
needs to be at
suggesting,
least that was.
Yeah. so I'm suggesting we just budget, but we get, but 450,000. Of course,
And the engineer and all.
but we paid,
We were paying here.
yeah, we paid for it. It's not.
So what,
He said there would be no more engineering costs. That was the
Yeah.
quote right here.
Yeah.
so what was that total for what?
4,380,000. 438. 438,000.
So 450 is still.
Yeah. And it sets us up for the next 50 years for this lake. I mean, I think, there's so much that can be done. Like, I looked up today, LWCF, and there's gonna be a grant period in 2021 that we can apply for. If we wanted to do something, like add a wooden or some type of a pier out there with a covered seating area on the end, that and adding back with White Sandy Beach, that could come out of LWCF money, which is matching money. But the lake, to me, is not a static project. It is a project that we can continue to add to. And there could be playground equipment out there. There's all kinds of things that can be done. But this will get it done. So I'm just asking you
But whatever you give them, they're gonna keep. So,
Yeah,
just
I know.
keep that in
And
mind.
I brought a picture of what it looks like in the 1960s. And it's a vision. Oh, yes. This is good. So this is what we're trying to get to. And we're not there now, I can tell you, because I wrote out there yesterday. But that's what we're trying to get to. And to have more recreation out there. I posted something this morning about the Boy Scouts and their little hero.
They sweat.
They had the race on the lake. And I mean, that's, so
And that was in 1960?
this was in, yeah, I think it was in the 60s. Yep.
That looked like that, said.
Yeah, so it has enormous potential, and the one thing we have asked them is to give us a maintenance schedule, so that whatever's done out there can be maintained. So, thank you.
My only question
Yeah.
on the fingers, 39 seems like a lot. The tractor's already in there, all they gotta do is keep up the fingers and haul them off, you know? So that seems like a lot of money.
I asked that question, Mike.
I think it's kind of like a quagmire. I mean, those fingers, to me, I mean, all it does is keep stretching.
I think they're looking for a little buffer that they may have, this is personal. And this only observation comes, I think they're looking at, they were definitely low. And then they're in there, they equipment, and they want this is opportunity to take care of some of the things they may have missed. I don't know, I just have no idea. But yeah, you're right, that they have the equipment in there doing it. That is gonna be pretty good bit of movement.
It's
Get
gonna be
that
a lot
cut
of-
down.
And then they're redoing it on the, they're realigning the banks.
Yeah.
So it's going to, I mean, in the long run, it's gonna be used. So,
But I,
A lot of money, what you got.
but you don't have much other option. In a sense too, you're not gonna go call and get another contractor to come in there and remove just them, and then that probably would cost. Like you say, they're already in there. But I don't know how much dirt they're having gonna have to move and go somewhere with anyway. But that is gonna be, pretty good distance, but that is visibly moving more dirt there.
But all this should have been included in the original bid. In the original bid, if they saw the need for it, then to me, they didn't give the other folks a fair shot. Maybe you could have done, maybe you bid 500,000 or 600,000, but if you'd have known all of this, and you were going to have the equipment, like you said, you already got the equipment there, maybe their bid may not have been, whatever. I mean, because you're looking over $400,000. I don't think we were fair
But as far as everybody getting shot, you know.
Well, their bids were more than even what we thought. they
Right.
had to do
That's true.
Without it, so therefore,
That's
I don't think that's a valid, it's a valid item, but as far as compared to that part.
Well, you know, they should have did
I mean, if
the job.
we'd have wanted that done, we did not specify.
Well, we pretty much listed them as far as doing whatever.
I'm not all that.
Yes. It was their call, pretty much.
What do y'all want to put down?
450, 460, somewhere like
About 455. Okay, that's good enough. Okay, on the next thing is the CLG AHC grant. So we're going, this is the expense side, right? So we've got to do 25,000. City has to match it at 10,000. And then the grant's coming in 15,000. Total expense 25,000. And then as another little addendum on this, I was going to ask you if we could budget $2,000. You know, the whole Vanity Fair Park has been named as National Register of Historic Places. And we can apply for a marker through the state, but it's going to cost $2,000 to get the marker. So I was just going to ask if we could budget $2,000 for the historic marker. You want to do that? Sure. Yeah, we can do it. Okay, this is Walmart grant, we just talked about that, 3,000, right?
I think those come up in February, so when, the applications open, I'll look at the question.
Okay, so that brings us to community house. We talked about replacing the doors, would that be in this budget? I don't know. The front doors, you know, that door's a problem. Not anything else.
We got all the leaks, we redid the roof, we still have, we don't have any leak issues or
We
anything.
have a drainage issue. County, anything more? Yeah, yeah.
What about the warmer? We could do that,
The warmer, did we get a new one?
yeah.
And they've been repaired,
You know-
and they questioned if they were gonna get another one. That was
It's the
brought up,
one that was having problems.
yeah, they're continuing repairing it one.
Last step is remodel, we talked about.
I don't know about the doors. I know Tim priced the doors. No,
They, Sandra did it. Sandra did it.
Yeah, I know.
Today, we had the, ambulance safety officer here for our, with insurance and all. And we went to the community house and she won't go downstairs and all through that little space. And she wrote up in her, report that we'll be getting in a couple of weeks about the sinkholes and stuff that's in that courtyard brick area. I told her I didn't know if anything would be done this year in the budget stuff, but that is gonna be a write-up.
we might have to come back to this, because I texted Tim, so I don't know what the doors are or the, and the drainage is unknown right now, so that's responsible. It's really expensive. Okay, security system. That was to install cooking music around the city facility, so. There is, and I think we could put that in committee speech, but, Penny Lee from Monco came by today to look at the little spots in front of you were designed for microphones. So he's gonna research the microphone spots there, and then also, a video option that'll be Bluetooth to where we can do our YouTube live streaming, here at City Hall.
Sounds good.
That's for RDS to collect our field tax. You don't want 15,000?
And then, professional services, this was moved to our general fund in last year's budget. We budgeted for those expenses. And then litter cleanup, is
I'm sorry. Interrupting, total, another UVA in school.
75,000. 75,000 for the UVA, and then the street sweeping, I think, Michael, 20,000 for the street sweeping services, and then we have, the website and IT professional services also included in that. I can give you a breakdown, of that. Okay, litter cleanup, just leave that at 550. Do you know, did y'all buy more grabbers, trash grabbers and stuff this year, or was that previous year?
Yeah, all that. We didn't have to make-
You know, if there's a need for more?
I think it's still got a pretty good, wow.
Yes.
You can let it stay like it is.
I mean, it would hurt least on the.
We can just leave it
You have
like,
to replace a few every year.
just leave it for 550.
That's why I use it for how it works. So this is Michael's request, for his miscellaneous equipment that he gets. He's requested an F-450 work truck, 48,861, for a crew cab labor truck, a 74-inch SHD flail mower at $8,254, and then the fuel tank at $6,000. So that total is $63,115. Yes, sorry. Musician center. They just had an expense come in last week, so this amount will be different. I think they've got the doors fixed, and I believe the doors, but I did not receive any request from Sandra on even the community capital nutrition center. I'm just going to come back to it. Sidewalk repairs, did you get anything like that? 20,000? Yeah, the Quasar Park playground, we need that money this year.
But we need to put something in because the civic club money gonna roll over.
That is the civic club money, that's the account that we put the court money in, so you'll see the amount, $16,666.68, that's for last year's funds that was requested to roll over and this year's funds. So, the civic club and the Quasar Park committee can meet to spend that 16,000.
So we're not gonna spend it this year.
Yes, ma'am, you should put, yeah, the civic club and Quasar Park committee. When they spend it, you're saying 2021.
But I thought they said they was gonna roll it over to the next year, like.
That they rolled over last year's funding.
Okay.
So the 13,333.33 was from 2020, from 2019 to 2020, will roll over this new fiscal year. Yes, sir, we're on the third year. Well, now we need to start chamber repairs, outside the park.
Something with the playhouse and garbage. It's really a lot of
Not the police department. That's for 4 new Tahoes to have them purchased under the state contract, as well as to have all the equipment and the decals and everything. It's $185,650.14. Which that brings us down to the Veterans Park. We need to do the street painting. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Street painting. I know Jeremy and Paxton are working on a new application for the Rebuild Alabama Act Fund. So Michael did an estimate cost of $600,000 for street paving, but we can go in and adjust that should we not receive the Rebuild Alabama grant.
Which is what we did this year. too.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Here,
Yes, ma'am.
the city club is giving us the money, so what are we gonna give the county upon? You know, to me, no, that's the civic club that's giving. Because I know.
See, they had
we give this money
13,
to county
33.
clerk. Am I right?
Okay, so the court order mandated the city
Right.
give the Clausel Park $13,333.33 for 3 years. So it was a total of $40,000 that the city has to invest in Clausel Park. We paid for the attorney fee for the Monroe Civic Club, but we're not giving any money to the Civic Club. We're giving money to the park. And then the Clausel Park Committee, which is comprised of there's 3 members from the Civic Club and I think 3 members from the city. And they develop a list of needs that they feel would be best for the Clausel Park. And then that's what they come back and say, we're gonna, like what we did with the security cameras and then the dinosaur playground equipment.
But what you're saying is in addition to the court order, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, because, you know, we need to add something too.
Okay.
Because look how much you did in the bedroom home.
Those are expenses that incur, all right, so we've been in the arrears with reimbursing Ricky, and that's not just Veterans Park, that's for both parks, that's the IOU. So what Ricky does for both parks, like any kind of infrastructure improvements, he'll give us the total of what he spent the previous year, and then this is actually like an IOU. So we reimburse him for any expenses that he incurred the year before. And this is for both parks, it's not just,
Okay.
but,
But then this 16 is the extra that they got, that they can do whatever they want to do at the park and club.
yes,
But see, that's,
We don't-
up to the civic club. That's right.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ricky had these expenses that he spent in this past year, and I think it totaled up to $12,000 for both parks. And that's the IOU.
Okay, I'll just pass
From the
this one.
library. Do you have anything for Clausel that we want to do this year? Any expenses? That's fine, yeah, 'cause we're not gonna, I mean, this is
Let's
just
finish,
preliminary.
let's see if we can finish up the capital improvements, and then we're gonna have to like defer the ABC for later. Okay. So where were we? Street paving, Veterans Park improvements, we just covered that. Ballpark grants. What that is.
That's usually what we use, the Amy Carter.
Oh, yeah, well, that's
Right,
not,
money
we're not
for-
gonna get that, is that? Move on. TAP project West Nine.
This is a sidewalk project.
Sidewalk, yeah.
0. Okay, with the Y, Veterans and Clausel Pools.
Oh, that's, yeah, sorry, that's where it's supposed to be.
Is that where the 42?
Only like 42 is what we got.
That's right.
There are people who can replace that bin. That's not this one.
Oh, good.
I see it on the sheet.
Okay, so that was probably
there-
already done.
Oh, okay.
Those were expenses that he's already paid for. I think it totaled up to 12,000.
You ain't been down there?
Yeah, then. I'm saying, I guess that's what it means, don't. To research that.
Okay, we've got the industrial park, spec building, tower, okay? We don't need that.
Yeah, that, the pool, but 6923 is for the, is the, that's not dedicated to the pool, the other thing. That was, you were right about the batting feature. And then these other areas for loans, we have to budget for those.
Okay.
Right on that. So you'll see on that police station land and building loan, we will have that loan paid off in March of next year.
Right.
It brings us to our fire equipment. How about that?
I need to add to that. I know you love that. Our fire station doors, on station one, that's original doors from '87, we've had several that's broken, free or somewhat inoperable, and we have to manually do some of the stuff. I got a price to replace all six was $122,000, or repair was $5,800 and something dollars. So if y'all would give us some money so we could get them repaired.
Well, that's a nice savings, 5,800 as opposed to 100,000.
You knew he would approve that, that's why you would have thrown that.
Yeah, I told you, I said, I'm not even going to live with that number.
So we
But,
had 5,800.
and that's just for him saying it's around level looking. I would like to, if y'all would say do 10,000, just to be on the safe side, we might see that or something. Because I know we got one closure that's broken, that is probably gonna have to be replaced.
On another note, so with the miscellaneous income as revenue due, since we've already reserved $250,000 for the fire truck in past year's budget, you want to account for that up in the miscellaneous income account where we roll over that money, so then that way it helps offset the cost of the $565,000.
I think it's 546.
Oh, the truck?
Yeah, he sent me a new updated thing the other day on it. And it's got several different options. If we choose to make the purchase, we can do a prepay, or you can pay at time of delivery, or several different options. But right now they're a year out. If we order one now, it'll be next year this time when we get it.
$56 is good to go.
He sent me an email, see if I can tell you exactly what it was.
We need to put anything in here for pressure washing sidewalks. We need to add that one, didn't it? When we got the fire equipment. I get a nice Rex and the repairs. Are we pretty good there? Billy?
During the hurricane, we have found that a limb fell and maybe some of the tin, I think it can be straightened out. So it's something we probably can do ourselves. If it is in repair, this should be replaced in a couple of feet.
Maybe one. Okay, splash pad. On the splash pad, to add the covered seating area, the canopy has been paid for, it's going to be funded by extension service. And then for us to add the frame and installation of the frame is a little over $7,000. And then to add 2 picnic tables and 2 trash receptacles there, the total on that comes up to a little over $10,000. And that will kind of finish out that area. It's really $10,001.68. We're being precise about it. Yeah, I think that's correct. We want that.
We decided what we're gonna do.
Yeah,
No, I am not, I mentioned one time before, I think, that we've got to look at something now, and I think Billy probably agreed to it. Widening that road coming into the unit house. You cannot get a fire truck in there. We have an event.
we're trying to at the park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we kicked that bucket down the road, and then all that the road must be paid for on too. That curve needs to be addressed. I mean, there's problems getting in, driving a car in there.
Does that need to be addressed in this budget?
It needs to be addressed pretty soon.
Even the concert part. You know, we need to plan it forward.
I know we talked about having an emergency entrance and exit in the back, which I think would be a good idea. Just for emergency personnel to get in. Do you want me to?
We don't even know what's in there. I mean, should we start looking into that? Ask Michael. Yeah, ask Michael. Okay.
I think there needs to be.
Anything else?
Like to consider, we're talking about Michael more than Cole, this is small, that we have an existing reference, and not have to be so tall, requirement. So I don't have a clue what that is.
We're questioning whether we're gonna be able to put them up again this year, correct?
Yeah, there is a question. We definitely can make a high.
They got some new poles, but they're gonna have to do something.
Yeah,
I asked Sam when he was in here, didn't get a real good answer.
is that something you want Michael to research? Yeah.
According to him, the candles, that fact, are really tall, like a snowflake or something, for sure.
Some area, the one we have, we use, we have to start swapping.
So he's got some work to do.
Yeah, yeah. You have to get with Rick to see if we could add some more space on equipment for the concert park. I need to get with him.
Just then. With Ricky or?
What could I, I was gonna say about 30,000 to be in it. Or do I need to get with him?
Why don't you get with him and y'all decide, look at one of those, they got all those catalogs, and then you can find what you're interested in.
Does he have, what did Ricky say? What did he?
He said that there's a door, by the pool area that's rusted out, that we need to replace that door. I told him we could look at maybe just $15,000 to repay him for the expenses in 2020, and then a couple thousand for incidental, so like the door that's rusted out, he wanted to replace the door. But I don't think he had any, I think we've been waiting for the committee to come forward with a list of what they want to do, so I know they had a hard time meeting with COVID this past year, so.
I can't remember if we get in the back.
Yeah, that's great.
I just want to make sure that didn't forget, you just made the decision not to, but I had asked for another $6,000 in addition to replacing private donations that we lost. So that we do all. Just like you to consider that. Make sure it didn't get lost in the wash.
When we originally discussed it, we had talked about doing 75 plus 7 over 20 given posted. And then the budget is. I was very curious about that.
I'd say we received $1,000 for
These things is sixth edition? Or?
yeah, they were 75 plus 6. House is 75 plus 7. She's asking,
I was thinking postal had six.
or whatever.
Postal is not-
One of the other.
Y'all not getting money from Costa anymore?
Postal is closed.
Oh,
It is in general.
But I do think it's still important for the EDA to get funds from other entities other than the city and county.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, we cannot, I
We
mean,
work on it for sure.
I agree, but, you know, both the city and county is going to benefit in the long, you know.
And I hope it's demonstrated that you are benefiting. I think we have.
6,000, 7, or 7, whatever, everybody agrees.
here you get them for them. Okay, anything else we need to do? Okay, well, we won't be able to adopt it, because we still have to vote, but we got a lot done, Oh, yes, report, Ms. Pat, you're on.
I don't know what I'm doing, but I'll be glad to figure out what I'm doing. Those that are penciling in, and what we would like to do. And plus, we are, the courthouse is going up over the, county. And so and I talked to our IT guy, and he said we either have to come down to 17 or go up to 18. We have to keep it at 50 cents in the correction fund, that's on the court. So that, the state goes up, and you have to make, we'll see our cost with the county. I don't think we're changing too much with that, we come down some.
Yeah, we come down in a couple of days.
Why you not requesting anything to telephone?
Well, it's good.
Yeah. Yeah, we'd like to update. Oh, Mary, I think we do one. It's a admin copy for.
Thank you, Ms. Pat. Thank you for all you do.
Thank y'all for what y'all do.
Okay, now, Tim. There you are, Tim, perfect Tim. You're on.
Okay.
So, this is regarding, Mr. Jones is renovating 42 North Alabama Avenue, which is the two-story building on the square. And he wants to rebuild the two-story porch on the front. So the first thing I said is we gotta get permission from the highway department, because that porch area is in the highway right of way. All the sidewalks on the south side of the square, the north side of the square, and the east side of the square are on highway right of way. The west side is slightly different, but we're talking about the east side. So I talked to the highway department and they submitted this form. They met with us. They have a form for Mr. Jones. And it basically is an agreement that we will maintain the sidewalk as a right of way. Even though it's the highway department, we will maintain it as we already do. And that if the balcony ever comes under disrepair or disuse, it's our responsibility to fix it or remove it.
And that's what this agreement with Alabama DOT is. We can amend our agreement with Mr. Jones that says if we ever fail to keep it up, we will take it off or we'll maintain it for the lien on your property. It's no different than what they have in Atmore, in Mobile, wherever there's a 2-story projection over the sidewalk. Does that make sense?
I did. I mean, I talked to Mike Public and he still had not heard that inconclusive from the underwriter. But he basically said, while it's under construction, it's the responsibility of the contractor. When it is done, it could be something that maybe we would have an agreement with Mr. Jones that in the event, I mean, worst case scenario, somebody is on the balcony collapses. We have an agreement with Mr. Jones that it is not the liability for the city. So, I mean,
And it's no different from the canopy that's over the bookstore over here, because that canopy also goes over public right of way, except it doesn't have columns. That's the difference.
so I mean, it's very easily designed. Okay, report, Sam?
We'll have it insured. And it may not know. Not we do it, so it's over.
Yeah, absolutely. So what is the action we need to take on this? Just to approve, do we need to approve it or?
Village agreement, this is an agreement to be filled out. I'm guessing that Chipper will complete it and write the contract with Mr. Jones. So I guess we need to make a motion to sign it or approve
Okay.
signing of the agreement with Albot at 42 North Alabama Avenue.
Okay. Okay, does somebody want to make that? Is that on our agenda? It is. Okay.
42 or 32? 32.
Okay, Tim.
Okay.
Thank you.
Jim, are you gonna check to see if the nursing home can take care of quantity of film with the concept?
Yes, ma'am.
You gonna check?
Well, I'm going to send it to the lawyer on record.
Okay. That's good.
Okay. I guess I just had a couple of things to bring up. Did everyone get the communication from Redline? So it's, I don't know if y'all want to take any action on that or just how y'all want to. He really, I don't think he has. He's very good, yeah. I think he, yeah. He's, maybe not. Well, according to Amic, it's not being a liability on the city for the water damage. They denied it. They denied the claim. So he's, come back with the letter and expenses that was on. You don't need to have Chipper look at it.
Keep that all down the road.
Okay. I think Chipper got a copy of it, but I will follow up. Okay. And then it can come up with the next video. I think I sent all of y'all the schedule for the time place. And I was gonna ask if anyone else wants to go to the meeting on the 22nd, which is the final. Yes. Well, we got about 8 or 9 people coming. I mean, we're gonna be well represented. We have a good representation from all. Yes, Maryland. Yes. So, and then I just wanted to
and those, and, family, especially, yeah, they'll be here at the work hour, and especially if you have the meeting. Yeah. Right, and to bring your idea. So I just want to mention that, it's gonna be, it's exciting. Another thing I wanted to mention is, the hospitality study which we approved at the last meeting, the update. They have sent me an invoice in order to get started on this. They were requiring $5,000 of the $10,000 to be paid up front. And so if we wait to approve the budget, then we're going to delay the study update. So I was going to ask y'all if you don't want to pay this out of the contingency fund, just so we can get the ball rolling on the study. And so, if that is, if somebody, if y'all need discussion on that.
They would agree to do it, we won't pay us, so how would we go?
Yeah, that's right. Now, do you have a question?
What, I'm sorry, I'm writing.
Yeah.
So we approved the pay on it.
We approved to pay for it out of but in the 2021 budget. See, we approved it out of the next year's budget. But when I got the invoice, I thought, well, if we wait until that budget is approved, it's the latest date that we started by 2 or 3 weeks, which it may not sound like a big deal, but it kind of is. So I was going to ask if we don't want to pay that out of the refund. Okay, yeah. So we're going to need a motion on that. Somebody want to make a motion? The other thing, exciting news, the old courthouse is on the November 5th Landmarks Committee agenda in Washington to be considered as a National Historic Landmark. You know, we've been working on that since 2016. The nomination went into the National Park Service in 2016. It is now the National Park Service, this committee, Landmarks Committee, has not met. They have not met since 2016. They had a fall meeting early, like in October, and now they're having a second fall meeting, and our nomination is the first one on that agenda. So I have posted letters of support from our congressional delegation, Senator Shelby, Congressman Burns, Senator Jones, and then several local, like from the Chamber, Main Street Museum. So letters of support. But I hope we get the designation, because if we do, it'll be a big deal. So just a matter of oh yes, I will. I really haven't reached out to the state representatives, but I did. The governor is providing a letter of support. We get a letter from the governor. So we got that. Then we also have Melissa, our custodian, Castatoni, Castopoulos.
Yeah, Castonian.
Melissa, I always call her Melissa.
I know.
But anyway, Melissa is requesting permission for outside employment, where she will be assisting the elderly couple on the weekend. It will not interfere with the job at the city of Monroeville, and it's been approved by Sandra as her supervisor. So I just wanted to notify y'all that, you know, of that. Does anyone have any questions or concerns there? Okay. And then the other thing, the museum, we have a request from the museum. They are producing a play in January, which they hope will become an annual event, Hiram Becoming Paint. And they are asking the city to be a sponsor. They're soliciting corporate sponsorships, and they're asking us for a $500 corporate sponsorship for that. That will include 2 complimentary tickets and acknowledgement of the city sponsorship. And it will help them kind of set the stage for a new event. So I think we probably need a motion on that.
Where is it? I mean, this could be an ADC.
Yeah, I
Because
mean-
most of our sponsors.
If we let them know, you don't have to pay it. I mean, South Carolina, we just put it, include it in the ABC budget for next year. Yeah. So then we don't really get inflation. I just put it. Yeah, okay, perfect. We talked about the Crosdale survey, it's a $25,000 project, it's gonna cost $10. We've got it in the budget, in the ABC budget. And that project, we have until whenever the grant agreement is fully executed, until September 30th of 2021 to complete the survey. So that's going to be to hire a consultant, do all the work, complete the survey. So it's a good time frame. Any other discussion on any of that? I feel like I'm moving some. I will tell y'all, another thing that you've been concerned about is the accident that happened last week with the billboard. That intersection has always been a problem. Aldott had told us a year ago in December that they were going to realign the intersection and put in a dedicated left turn signal as you were coming out of Monroe Academy. That has not been done. I followed up with Darrell Owens, who is our Great Hill Division person. And then I have talked to Matt Erickson, who is our whole division chair for Aldott over the southeastern region. And they are looking into the accident. Mandy pointed out that there seems to be something wrong with the timing on the light. And so we've got all of that in the works. We just don't have any answers.
I would like to, take a look at the possibility of stopping traffic coming straight from 136 over the school and have them go around 94 and 20. That would help, because a lot of times you can't tell when you turn left, people are coming straight.
It's very hard. It's come up. I sit in on the RPO meetings. I have for several years, but that has come up more than once. And it's very well done. It's been a problem. So we are addressing that. And I imagine it will follow our mayor-elect to get the conclusion on that, but it's in the works. So, anything else?
We need to discuss the awards for the Haydale towns. We have that.
Yes. Does everyone have their sheet?
How many categories we got?
Do you want me to make copy? Make copy?
You can, but I didn't know how many categories.
Yes,
Six.
Okay, we're fine then.
3 on Windows, 3.
Okay, we need to add some more in the hay bale category.
You want more?
Yeah. I mean, this is not a trophy and a prize, money prize thing, but there's 5 or 6 real good.
Yeah. Dawn, we need to give Dawn our recommendations, and she's gonna be up.
Okay.
So,
But I mean, like, for instance, down here in Redlands, one guy on the right on the bat, and that's good. And that lady at the dress shop over there, she spent midnight out there putting that little, all that decoration around that one by the bookstore.
yeah,
And then,
That's fine.
if y'all look at the bank for us, it's hard to see it from the road.
Oh, yeah.
But if you get this way and look at it, that thing's awesome. That's a skeleton laying down.
Yeah.
EDA is a good one, and then the spider, back and look. And there's other good ones, but those
yeah.
5 stand out.
Not
It'd be a shame not to, for the work that they put into it, not to.
You recognize them or something. Yeah.
I mean, there's some of them that are, also I've seen like a motor company, but anyway.
I like the one at the library too.
Yeah.
Men up on the floor.
Yeah. But there's a lot of effort put in for.
Well, Dawn's gonna be at our meeting. I mean, so that's what we're gonna direct with her when she's.
Okay.
Thank you. The only other Darlene had asked if she could have the minutes. Darlene, you've got it. 5 minutes.
Well, I just wanted to let you all know and get your opinion on something. I'm trying to get a CDL class off of here. And Reed State is very interested in doing that. Bond's trucking needs drivers that were pointed today, and he needs drivers. And so, you know, there's a big need all over the nation for truck drivers. And so, and another thing is Reed State has cut back on the size of classes that they can have because of COVID. So, we're gonna try to get a class together. They've been over and looked at 2 different sites. One is the old outlet mall, which was the present, choice location. If that doesn't work, then we would accept the
Battery.
GP site out at, Fort Peterman. So, I don't have costs yet, but what I wanted to ask is, if we did the old outlet mall, would you all be agreeable to have it out there? I mean, if I could get the money together, to do that, would you all be interested in having a class?
And how would we still be able to block it off, or if we don't have parking, if we interfere if they went past where we have to change off? And the other is how long will we have to commit to it?
Well, he wants long-term commitment on the classes. As long as we can get students, he wants to continue to offer the classes. Like I said, I've talked with Barnes, Terry, and Terry has agreed, you know, to help give some support toward the class. He's going to get ATA involved in the class, and also Chris has agreed to help with some of the costs. So it wouldn't be paid, it would not need to be paid for that at all, because trucks eat up pavement, so it doesn't need to be paid. What it would have to do would be gravel, and that's what we say right now, is gravel. I finally find out the track size, and then I think it's going to be a mile, is what I think it is.
So we have to have a mile of gravel out there. So we'll just have to get some estimates on that.
Yes, I would do
Yes.
that, but I just wanted to see if you all entertained the thought of having that before, you know, it's very informal. I just wanted to discuss it with you, let you know that's what we're working for.
You're concerned, we don't, number one, we need it, right? No question here. But we've tried to restrict access to that property. I'm questioning how we're gonna be able to still limit access to that property and have it opened up for that. And then, you know, we may have then people start parking behind the area where they'll be wanting to train.
Where is it restricted from in parking?
We've chained off after about 50 yards in there, where we're allowing the local residents for the present time to park up there on the road, side on Drury Road side, and then they only go so far back. And we opened it up when Alabama Power needed it for the station for the hurricane. But we cut off that back to keep from just people going back there, also trucks getting back there and other things like that, so.
I don't know the answer to that. That's why I wanted to discuss it with you all. And see.
Maybe you could have whoever the instructors are, maybe they would have some way to, you know, then go, you know, like a gate or whatever, they're locked, they weren't in there or whatever.
And the school possibly could enter from the jury room, so come in and grab them. Have a gate. Secure.
Is there any chance of the Alabama Southern property, coastal Alabama property by people's state bank? Is that a large enough area? Would they be?
That's asphalt.
Yes.
It will destroy that parking lot in no time.
Okay.
They are going to dedicate the classroom space out there as long as they own the building. they're, going to allow the classes to be out there, the classroom, all that. We're working on internships and apprenticeships with high school. We want to do it with college as well. And so, I think it'll be a really good thing to help build work rate skills and get more jobs out there. You know, the law passed for 18-year-olds to drive. And so parents, if it's in first stage, they can drive at 18. And so this will help possibly get on an 18-year-old start almost with that school. And it can come here. That's the good thing.
Darling, thank you. Just look at that.
Yes,
Thank you. Thank you. 2 minutes. Good time. Sorry. I did.
You know, you got time. You have a lot of people. Anyway, and all. I have got, I've not for years, I've got calls, There's some around, we area that street area. They have somebody designated to do this, if they do. Sam said, all you gotta do is email it, you'll get on. There's South Alabama, there's several down here on bypass. North Mount Cliff.
That went around.
I bet that's fine. You want to recognize that. Encourage people, ladies and gentlemen.
Do what? She's a nurse. And Ray has it too, right?
Yes, sir, he's okay. He's done it with her.
This is the order for the public hearing, and outrage for.
Let us pray. Lord, we just thank you for this beautiful fall weather we have. Temperatures being so nice outside. We ask your blessings and your wisdom to be bestowed upon this council and this mayor and please give us wisdom as we make these decisions. Help us to always keep your will in mind. In Jesus' name.
They are public hearings regarding the name of Pickens Street, Rosenrock Drive. We have a special guest with us, Mrs. Cox, would you like to say anything in this regard about this request? Yes.
First of all, we think allowing. So many people wasn't aware of those. This school was built, 1927 to help the opportunity last year. I find it very important to education for our children, but we tend sometimes to get really off standing on the shoulders, so many people that allow us to have the opportunity to do this. And I thought it was very important and we talked about the heritage school. So we want hopefully in this experience that this goes along with the part of the heritage school. It's a great access as it is in several cities, and this school is also national. It is considered a national treasure for us. Also, I wanted to mention that at this particular school, Judith Rosenwald was the one that helped with the T1 with the money to provide schools with opportunities for blacks in our community. Also, and some of y'all are not aware of it, one of the buildings that's still standing out there is called Jean's Building. And this was a white woman as well, and she helped provide the opportunity to assist the black teachers in education. So this building out here was called the Jean's Building. Her name is Anna Jean. So along with Booker T. Washington and Anna Jean, they supported the and I thought that was very interesting. And at the time, it was not a black or white issue, it was black education. And I think our children nowadays pretty much need to know from they came that they're standing on the shoulders of the next person. Today, I hope this was if I attended that school, I was very young to realize at this time that I attended that school. Until they used to. I remember everything about it. I also was told by this very couple, which was about 9 or 4 years old. Her husband was a math principal. And she said when Junior Warsaw agreed to do this, it had to be met by the black community to show their interest in doing it. And there was a man there, and he actually woke up about 3 something in the morning and walked all the way from Monroeville to assist with his land and dedicate his land to meet the board. To meet the board to provide this. So it was placed there in 1947, and I feel we have a very important treasure here in our city. And I think we will do that.
Thank you very much. Do you have any other comments regarding to renaming the street? Can we have a motion to approve renaming the street?
I make a motion.
Okay, so, okay. Brenda motion, second by Delma. All in favor?
Aye.
Any discussion?
Is there any issues with the businesses there, which is the Board of Education is basically on the property, or address changes or anything like that?
No, I talked to the Board of Education before. I mean, I had talked to Greg Schumann, he sent me an email and said absolutely.
That's that kind of thing.
Yeah. And I also approached Sonia Spencer with the county, and she said,
Fine.
so, yeah. Mr. Folker. Mr. Sheehan, you agreed in February of 2019 to have the historical marker.
Okay, I just want to ask that question. I have no problem with all.
Yeah. Okay, so, I'll call for a vote. Let's see, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, unanimous. Thank you, Mrs. Grant. Great. Do I have a motion to adjourn the public hearing?
So make that motion.
I second it.
All in favor?
Uh,
Now have, another public hearing to, abandon Hyacinth Street, review vacating Hyacinth Street. Tim, do you want to comment on this?
Vacating, not abandoned. That's the little section of Hyacinth between the property owner, the same property owner on the little subsection on the bottom of the street. And if it's public hearing, it's in the paper. So that's just a reminder of what that was about.
Thank you. Do we have any comments on vacating Hyacinth Street?
I think if there anything through on either end that's gonna make any difference, somebody have access to their properties.
Nope. It's all the same. That section is all the same property. The same property owner on both sides.
Okay, so do we have a motion to approve, vacating Hyacinth Street?
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? We have a motion to adjourn the public hearing.
Also move.
Second.
All in favor? Okay, moving on. Okay, it's 5:00. We will call the meeting to order, the regular meeting of the city council, of the city of Monroeville, and stand for attention, salute the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The first item is approval of the minutes. Work session is held on October 6th, 2020 at 3:30. Hearing is held on October 5th, 2020 at 4:55. And regular meeting is held on October 6th, 2025. We have a motion to approve the minutes.
Make a motion to approve.
Any discussion? All in favor? Next item for action, we will need to table that, postpone, excuse me. Postpone for a future meeting. Okay, the next, item is weed and debris abatement set a public hearing for December 1st, 2020 at 4:55 p.m. to consider some uses properties. Got the list. He's not got the list.
Motion to set the public hearing.
Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Okay, next item is the ordinance 2020-10-001. Basically, we approved this transfer of property to IDB at our last meeting, but Chipper says it requires an ordinance in order to formalize the process. So, we, hereby, the ordinance is 2020-10-001, and, do I have a motion to approve this ordinance?
I make that. The longest description of a piece of 1.7 acres I've ever seen in my life.
Would you like me to read it?
No, it is a 40 line description.
I know, I mean, it's an important paperwork, I tell you, but, anyway, it's, so, okay, do we call? So, they're all in favor? Okay, we have some new hires in our public works department. They both worked over the summer. They were employed with People Mart, and they want them to start at $9.49 an hour, which is step 2 under our existing pay scale. So, I'll sign. Which I believe if they were, if you were on the new pay scale, I think it was, the rate would be $9.95, something like that. So, yeah, and that's a step 1 on the new pay scale, $9.95.
Motion to approve the new hires.
Second.
All in favor?
Right.
You guys. Next is Halloween dash decoration awards. Is Don here? Oh, here, I couldn't see Don.
Don, I asked earlier if we could spread the number of positions up. There's multiple ones. My feelings are 5 or 6 of them that are really outstanding. There was really good participation, a lot of real good ones. This is not a cash award and don't get any recognition of them, their name mentioned in a plaque or something. Would there be any problem with us doing more than the 3 spots?
No, not at all. Do you want to make
So you
that?
want to name? Or you want to name? If anybody got any more than this, I'm gonna name the ones.
I agree with yours.
Okay. Downtown rental. The dress shop by the Bible bookstore. Bank trust. Trust market authority. Hey, the Monroe County Bank. What are you talking about? The spider behind the old Monroe County Bank building. And then the one by the corner in front of the bank, by EDA, I think it is. And there was mentioned possibly one more. It ain't, but we're fine with those 5. Okay. That's my input on the window decorations. I'll let somebody else have that part.
We mentioned a lot.
Library, okay.
And down, did you say downtown?
Yeah, down there.
So which one's which?
You can choose them because they can fit in any category.
Oh.
Okay, Stephen, have any recommendations on the windows?
The next house I thought did really well. Downtown rentals, in the Austin street.
Which we've already got down at rental, so we eliminate that from that part. We'll do
Ed's house, what was
Anybody
the
else? Emmett's
We had
house.
split Emmett's house and Reed's. Reed's
Reed's.
closing.
Emmett's house, roofs, and the street.
very good. So which one's which?
We gonna let Don decide. We gonna let you decide, Don.
Does it make a difference?
Well, out of this road is like.
Yeah.
The grand pop.
So we actually. Sorry. Okay, thank you. Okay, good job. Okay, next we have Monroeville Main Street, appoint Scott Holmes to board for 3-year term. Have any discussion on this? Do I have a motion to appoint Scott to the board of Monroeville Main Street?
I say.
All in favor? Duly appointed. Okay, the next is the Aldott Critical Lake contract to give me permission to sign that, after I get Chipper to review it. All in favor? And then the next item is to set a public hearing for the ABC liquor license for downtown package store, November the 3rd at 4:55 p.m. Yes.
Everybody were on.
Yeah. Oh.
Econ store right here.
I'll make a motion.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
I didn't hear you. Okay.
Yeah.
We have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. There's, oh, yeah. Well, I would just like to say, before we do anything else, that it has been a pleasure and honor to serve on this council. And I'm very, very proud of our council and what we have accomplished the last 2 years. And I wish everyone all the best. I think the city is a wonderful organization with very talented people. And I think we have a very good team at the city of Monroeville. So even though I will no longer be at council meetings, which I cannot say, I will I will have you all in my hearts and prayers going forward. And I think the city is doing great. I see a lot of good things happening. We have some open projects that are going to be really good if they come in. And so it's just all about keeping it going. So wish you all the best. It's been a pleasure. And I wish the new mayor or mayor-elect all the best. We met this week about some of the open projects, and I am excited for our new leadership very much so. So I appreciate getting to know you very much. That's all I have. So do you want to present?
Yeah, for one, I got to step outside.
And I want to say it's been a pleasure working with you guys. I'm really gonna miss you guys, but I am going to continue to work in my district. I'm going to continue to work with the at-risk kids. I'm going to continue to do the community garden and anything else that come up that people need me, not only in my district, within the city, I'm gonna be there, so. I enjoyed it. And I'm gonna miss you, huh?
You can work with Deborah, she had the project on.
I'm already doing it.
You gotta find more work for you.
Yes, I'm already doing it because it's in my district, yeah.
And that's a 10-year project.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
this.
Yes. Oh, isn't that sweet?
Oh, my goodness.
You cry.
On my behalf, we go in public service, it takes a dedication of a lot of time. We appreciate all that you have done in these last 2 years for this city.
Oh.
Thank you so much.
Don't make me cry.
Yeah,
Don't make me cry. That's Sandy.
It quit. Probably mine.
Oh.
Oh, thank you. So this is beautiful.
Isn't it beautiful?
Yeah.
And
Oh.
on behalf of the city, we also have a sincere appreciation for you. So that will always be, you can hang that on the wall. You know, live flowers.
Hey, I will enjoy it very much. Thanks. I appreciate it. Thanks.
Yes, sir, I'm jealous.
Just as an appreciation for your time, your dedication to the city of Monroe and to the council district. We appreciate it and display it with pride.
Thank you. I did ask myself, I was jealous.
We'll share.
Okay, okay.
Okay, well, thank y'all. Al.
I would like to make a motion that the hospitality study we discussed last week, we went ahead and fill that out of the general fund and later let an agency make that a motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
And then also, I would like to say, Sandy, you've definitely been one of the hardest working mayors we've had, and we love you and appreciate you, and you miss you. And Brenda, likewise, it's been a pleasure to serve with you.
Oh,
I appreciate everything you've done, and appreciate you continuing.
thank you, Al.
Ben, you've done a great job, and I think I've been telling you, Ben, for 2 years. But anyway, you remind me of the thing.
She was a hard working person. We had the cigarettes to match.
I am, y'all. Stop that line.
We can do it.
Oh, I will.
Okay.
I will.
Brenda, you've done a great job.
Thank you,
You've done-
Dale.
I make you feel so.
I will.
Thank you for your service. No, I'm like Al. I've never seen anybody work any harder than you make. There's no one that has a heart for Monroe any more than you do, and we appreciate you. And Brendan, thank you. We appreciate your service.
Thank you.
Enjoy it.
Enjoy it also.
That's good.
Sandy, you know how I feel. We've known each other for a long time. Appreciate the effort you put into it. And definitely the things they didn't get done, it wasn't because it wasn't ever put forward. Do things, some of the things you want to accomplish. I'm thankful that we did get some things accomplished that we wanted to. So we're looking forward to seeing the Vandy Fair Park finished and the items going along with it. Brenda, not taking anything away from any of the other council members here, I don't know of anybody that I've seen in this group, including myself and Alan, and Anthony and Larry, that have done more dedication to your district. You have tirelessly tried to do things for your district at all times. You were always on that part of it to make that, and your dedication to the city as a whole, but to your district particularly. And we thank you for bumping elbows with me when we used to sit in there and
I know.
everything else. That past that part of it, Mandy, I mentioned one time forward there, and I'll go ahead and mention it again because persons in the house that want to
I
have
just saw it come
directed
in.
towards. We have a major amount of streetlights there. In all the years I've been here, I've never had the complaints and the calls I've had during this. I asked Mandy if you would dedicate a police officer to make sure they were tied off and banded and so on and so forth.
She's already reached out to me. So
Okay, and I appreciate you doing something on it, because I really didn't catch it.
We'll get them as soon as.
You got them too.
We'll get the list.
Okay.
Need address not flag.
We need both, I mean, both are helpful. That's tape, and I've got some.
I did flagging on all of them.
Well, we need to know a lot too, so just, being flagged, that helps us, we have to know where they are and see the flag. We need to both of those things, so.
So I need to go back and get an address?
Addresses,
I'll give them.
even if it's just, sometimes that may be across the street from 123, whatever
Okay.
street, or next door to McDonald's. Or
Okay.
something.
And I know a lot of it's related to hurricane, some of it is, and y'all being behind on some of it too, but right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anything
Brandon?
Oh, I thoroughly enjoy working with all of you guys. Especially you.
Well, Brandon, it has been a trip, I must say.
Yes.
But you've been great.
Thank you.
Great to see.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, Mary.
Want to thank you for both of your support. 5 years ago, I know you helped get me here. So thank you. Miss Andy, it's been a wonderful year. And I hope that we can continue on with future projects with the administration. Thank you all for your support with Auburn's pay scales and the job descriptions. And look forward to the next 4 years.
Yes, it'll be great. Thank you. Thank you, Mary. You're a treasure. You are a treasure.
Thank you, Mayor. You are a treasure.
Billy?
One, the 501c3 designation can get council approval to move forward with that for the volunteer fire department.
I'll make a motion to move forward. I'm thinking.
All in favor?
All right,
You pass.
that's the route for it to go, but that.
That's right.
When that police department, need to do the same thing, or you gonna?
I think they probably do for that one particular account that they have.
They can't merge it with y'all and keep up with how much is into your account?
They got whole money. Tommy Cobb helped us with ours and he's pretty information on that. I'm sure he's willing to help them as well.
Well, then, when you get ready, when you get it set up, then you just have to make the transfer. So,
All the other thing is that how much I appreciate you and Councilwoman Dean. Y'all been always supportive of me and the fire department, anything we've asked for. Y'all been there, been easy to talk to and deal with, but I certainly appreciate it.
Thank you, Billy.
thank you so much. Mandy?
I got an update on Ray, first of all. I didn't even say that, but his wife and a new husband, this afternoon. And that doesn't take him up to the. You can send that out to it.
Wow.
He's really great. And the same thing, Brenda, thanks a lot. From me and his son.
Oh,
mention we have a resignation too.
Yeah, we got one of those that, RJ again. Was out there in November. Yeah.
McKinley.
Randy McKinley.
We'll probably have to declare a vacancy at the next meeting. Thank you, and keep us updated on, right, yes, we can do it great. Tim?
I have one little thing, Yahweh Park that's being built over here, by Brenda. Deborah Allen, she, started the first bit of construction in a little kind of office building. I was gonna make a proposal that we waive the building fee for that permit, which is $63. She's already paid it, we can reimburse her, because it is kind of a nonprofit work. They're getting their nonprofit status, so anyway, so I'm wondering if anybody can make a motion to waive that.
I'll make a motion that we waive the fee.
Brenda?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, great, thank you, Tim. And John, do you have anything else? 'Cause I know you have the Halloween,
The DEA drug take back, prescription drug take back is this Saturday from 10 to 2 at our local police department at 29 Mount Pleasant, South Mount Pleasant.
so from 10 to 2?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Don. Any problems for you need people, or are you all set?
I think we'll be okay. I mean, we've put it out on the radio as a service announcement, and it was put in the paper, and I know I spoke about it at Kiwanis when we met last time. We're going to get feedback.
Thank you. And great job on the Halloween
Yeah,
decorations.
they all did a fabulous job this year, and we appreciate everybody still decorating for the children and the council allowing us to do that and decorate the fountain. And we appreciate you all, and we appreciate the mayor and Mrs. Dean for Councilwoman Dean for serving in our community. I know, especially down at Club when we were in the heat, I know Sandy was and we were so hot. We got through it. So thank you for putting up with the heat and all the hard work that you do as well, because it is a lot of work.
Well, thanks. It's been fun, especially the car show. That's
Yeah.
great. Okay, now, can I call my mayor, Alex, if you have anything, because it's your ball game, your own. I just want to tell you.
Well, all I can say is that I look forward to working with each and every one of you. I had the opportunity to sit down with Mayor Smith, we've been going over several things, ongoing projects. I think they're interesting for the city, and I'm committed to help moving forward. You know, it's just like Mayor Smith and I were talking, it's not about I, it's about we. And that's what's going to move Monroe forward. We the people, the citizens of Monroe, working together to move forward. So I look forward to working with each and every one of you. I know there's a couple of issues out there that we're going to have to go through and get resolved. But I look for that input from each and every one of the council members and resolving these issues and make it a great workplace for our city employees, their departments, and the city.
Thank you. Okay, do we have anything else for the good of the cause?
If you decide to take another job, make sure it pays more than $15 an hour. Because you have put in a bunch of time.
Well, I don't know, I guess I was never good at money. We have a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion.
Oh, Sam, I'm sorry. Yes.
If you don't mind, I'd just like to take a minute to thank you, Mayor, and the council as well for
approving our, temporary use agreements for the old outlet mall facility and a couple others that we have in town as well. I think, we don't often get to see how important those are, but I think with Hurricane Sally, it was very evident, how important having those agreements in place are when we don't have to go around and search for some place to put all these people, when we can just pull the trigger on something we've already gotten. And in a matter of about 12 hours, have room for 750 people, that were housed, fed, slept, bathed, washed, everything out of that one facility. So thank you for your help with that. Thank you, the police and fire department for helping us out as well, and public works as well. So thank you for that. We appreciate your cooperation.
We appreciate you, and I did send a letter to your McGill.
We got it. Yes, ma'am. Thank
Yes,
you. We
just
appreciate
saying
that.
that it was the best prepared group of people I've ever seen, the most efficient. I remember Ivan, when we probably were not quite, and we were more devastated, but probably not quite as prepared. It was amazing.
Well, this was the largest staging area that was set up, that's ever been set up in outside Metro Mobile, for us. So it was something to behold once it was all there. So, and Mayor, it's been a pleasure working with you. Appreciate all your support for, both on the economic development front and just the day-to-day things as well. And Mr. Brenda, I appreciate you as well. You've always been a big help for all the projects we've had going on. So thank you both of you. It's been a pleasure working with you.
Oh,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
I make a motion, we adjourn.
I second.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
They were all-